What's up everyone, it's Austin Rutherford. What's the hardest part about flipping houses? Is understanding the deal, evaluating the deal, and then running the construction. Most people lose money on the construction side because it's the hardest part about the business. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you around the inside and the outside of this property, tell you exactly what we're doing to it, why we're doing to it, how much it's gonna cost to do those things. So next time you walk through a property, you'll have the confidence and then wherewithal to understand construction so you can analyze deals the right way. And if you stick around to the end of this, I'm gonna show you the exact numbers on this deal so you understand why I bought it and the numbers behind it. But first, make sure you smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It'd be greatly appreciated. We're trying to get to 350 likes on this video, so make sure you smash that like button. So as you can see, we're on the outside here. The outside's not that bad. So if you look at these windows here, they're silver old aluminum windows. So the whole house, we're gonna be replacing windows. And for a window like that size, it's gonna be like $350 to $400 to replace that window. So this is like 2 or 3 of those windows. So you just gotta make sure that you budget appropriately. So you walk around, you count the windows, and you come up with the window estimate. The brick is great, the brick staying brick, that's super simple. And then if we look under here at this soffit and stuff, there's just a couple areas that have like rotted out from water and things of that nature. So we're gonna come in here, we're gonna replace it, and then we're gonna paint all the fascia and the soffit to make the outside pop and look really, really nice. We're also got some landscaping. We'll put in new mulch right here. We're gonna cut down some branches on some trees just to make sure like the tree doesn't fall on the house or anything like that. So the outside's like pretty simple. So we'll walk around here, take a look at the backyard. So now we're in the backyard. Backyard's pretty simple. We're just gonna cut the grass. But if we look over here, the same thing. They have the old aluminum windows. This back porch is actually pretty solid. We're gonna replace the gutters here because the gutters look bad, but again, that's only a few $100s. And then if we walk over here and look at this air conditioning unit, the AC works. So you walk into the house and you like turn it on to make sure it works. It looks newer, so we're gonna keep the AC as well. So outside, again, is really simple. You got windows, you got some fascia, some soffits, some gutters, and some landscaping. That's about it. So let's go inside and take a look at it. Actually, when we got here, the door was locked and I didn't know the combo how to get in, so we had to break into the window through that window over there. You can watch how that went down. So here we go on the inside. It's not a massive rehab by any means, but you know, we're gonna walk through and I'm gonna tell you exactly what we plan on doing. So if you're looking in here, the walls are freshly painted. So you have paint on the trim, the ceilings, and the walls. So that's gonna end up being like $3,000-ish. Then we're gonna come in here, we're gonna sand and refinish these hardwood floors. So when you sand and refinish the hardwood floors, it costs like $2.50 to $3 per square foot to sand, stain, and then refinish these floors. So that's the whole house. We're gonna sand and refinish the entire house. If you come in here in the kitchen, you see these LVT floors. They're luxury vinyl tile floors. These are about $300 to $350 a square foot to then install in here. So we installed those. We got the kitchen, or I guess what once was the kitchen right over here. So we ripped out all the cabinets, the countertops, the appliances. We took everything out of here, but we're going to be replacing it all. So we're going to put upper cabinets all the way around, lower cabinets all the way around, the sinks, the fridges, the stoves, the microwaves, all that stuff. It's going to be a brand new kitchen. It's going to look really, really solid. So as we continue around here, we have the bathroom. So again, pretty simple bathroom. We got a new toilet, which is a few $100s. We got a new vanity, which is a few $100s. And if you keep coming in here, we have a new shower as well. So we put in a new tile surround shower. We haven't grouted it yet. So something like this to put a new surround in is maybe a couple $1,000s. So it's not the end of the world. The whole bathroom to redo the whole thing, including the floors and everything, usually is like in the $4,000 range. And the higher end you go, you can spend a lot more than $4,000, but that's roughly about how much that bathroom costed. So we come in here to one of the 3 bedrooms. Again, we painted it. We're gonna sand and refinish the floors, pretty simple. And then if you look at this door right here, it's a 6-panel door. So it's a new door. Again, maybe a couple $100s to replace this. The only reason we did that is because there was a hole in the old one. So we replaced all these interior doors. In here, if you look, there's not hardwood. So we're gonna put LVT, luxury vinyl plank, which is the same thing we did over there, which is like $300 to $350 a square foot. So not a lot of money at all. And then as we go in here, same exact thing, paint, luxury vinyl tile, and we gotta replace the window that I shattered as I was breaking into the house. But hey, we're in here, we're shooting content for you guys, so we made it happen here today. So now we're down here in the basement. In Ohio, when you have basements, the biggest line item usually in renovations is the basement. So I'm gonna walk you through the basement, show you what we normally look for. So the first thing we look for is on these exterior walls, we look for cracks in the walls. So what that means is like a wall should be flat, right? A wall should be built flat. What happens is sometimes as it gets cold, water starts running in the outside of the wall and puts pressure on the wall. So a wall goes from flat and it starts bending like this, which can obviously cause a problem and the house can collapse. So if we come in and look at these walls, usually when it starts bending, a crack forms. So a crack would be on one of these lines, but there's no cracks here. So that's a great thing. It's a solid basement. If there was an issue, you got to put metal I-beams every 4 feet, and it costs about $500 per I-beam to then support the wall and not let it continue to bow. So that's the first thing we look for. Luckily, this basement doesn't have that. Next thing is you look for termites, but termites are on wood. They'll have like tunnels. And if there's termites, then you got to treat for termites, which is only like $1,000, but it's the damage to the wood. They eat the wood, which then like, it's not structurally sound. So you got to replace the wood as well, which is not a good thing, but it's part of the process. So one of the other big ticket items in basements is electric, right? So electric can be very, very expensive. So if you come here, this is the breaker panel. To replace this is usually a couple $1,000s. And then once we go back upstairs, we'll look at the electric to see if it's 2-prong or 3-prong. If it's 2-prong, in some areas, you have to rewire the house because that's what the expectation is. Hopefully it's 3-prong, but we're gonna find out about that here in a second. And then the other big thing is the furnace. So we already looked at the outside. We're keeping the air conditioning unit. So now we gotta look at the furnace. So if we look at the furnace right here, this is never a good sign with these being off. So minimum, we're planning to invest like $500 for a maintenance. So we're gonna have an HVAC technician come in, take a look at that and see if there's any issues. Otherwise, just clean it and get it ready to go. If there is issues with it, replacing this is about $2,500. Replacing an air conditioning unit is about $2,500. The bigger the house is, the more expensive these units are because the more square footage that they have to heat and or cool. 2 more things, we got plumbing. Plumbing is another big thing in real estate, obviously. So we have this pipe right here. So if you look right here, it's taped. So tape is never a good sign. That usually means there's something wrong with this. So we'll probably have to like cut it here, and then replace it. But the good thing is like just running water in general outside of this, there's no leaks in the house. So there's really no plumbing issues. To replumb a whole house of this size is about a 1,200 square foot house, 1 bed, 1 kitchen. It might be like $5,000, $6,000. So it's not the end of the world, but you do have to budget for it. And the last thing I want to show you is over here. It's called a sump pump. So what this means, again, in Ohio, it rains a lot and water gets into the basement. So if you look right here, it's kind of hard to see, but there's this pipe and then there's like a hole cover in the hole in the ground right down there. So that's called a sump pump. So what happens is when water goes down underground in a basement, the only place for it to go is into the basement, right? So what happens is instead of coming into the basement, there's tiles along the outside of the whole wall and it goes into those tiles and funnels to this drain, and then this pipe pumps the water outside. So now the basement no longer has water. So having that in a house with the basement is great because now your basement won't get wet, you won't have mold problems, you won't have flooding problems. As long as this continues to work and the electric's on, you're good to go. So we just walked through the house. Now we're going to talk actual budgeting. So let's jump into the screen share so I can show you the spreadsheet that we're actually using. So if you look here, we have a template of everything that we can repair on a property. So everything that we can repair, and then as well, we have a cost associated with that. So we know this is where our pricing comes into play. We know what our pricing is, and that's something that you got to figure out for your projects, but we know this is the budget. So everything that we plan on doing is line itemed out right here. So it's going to cost us $26,000 to do this project, but then we add a contingency budget. So we have a $3,900 contingency budget in this. So total project cost we're budgeting is $30,000 for this renovation of the project. So I know construction is very difficult for some people to understand, but I've created a program for you so you can get involved right now today. So if you wanted to start flipping houses or wholesaling houses or owning rental properties or any of those things, you can join hundreds of other students that have already joined the Real Estate Blueprint and have started investing for themselves. So if that's something you're interested in, you want these spreadsheets, you want video tutorials, you want the exact step-by-step know-how of everything, go to BRRRR renovateblueprint.com or click the link in the description below so you can join us. So hopefully this video was valuable, showed you step-by-step process on what to renovate, how to renovate, and everything in between. Drop a comment or any questions that you have below. While you're down there, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you hit that subscribe and notification bell so you can get all this content going forward. As always, appreciate you being here. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.